Hey, dude. Thanks for joining.
Oh, thanks for having me.
That was awesome. I sent a calendar invite to like 15 of you, 10 or 15 of you. I've never used that. Now, Jason Hopper also emailed saying, hey, the link doesn't work. So
Tell them
I
when it
got to
works.
figure, yeah.
Tell them
So I got to figure.
tell them to get in line.
So thank you. I responded and said, hey, let's just hop on now. And you said,
Yeah,
let's do it.
definitely. How's
So I'm
the
at the
venue looking?
airport. Oh, it's amazing. It's awesome. Every time I come here, I get really excited. And
Yeah,
we checked out Farrington Field, and we're gonna have we're gonna have some fun there for sure. So,
yeah.
are you excited?
I'm very excited. I'm just excited to be back and have some fun.
How many years have you been to the games?
This will be my sixth. So I missed last year, which would have been seven. Ideally, I want to get into those double digits. So we got some years
What are
left.
you,
Got some mouths.
What about your other brothers? How many times have they been?
Scott's been counting team. I want to say 10, and then Spencer was two.
Okay, and now Spencer's focusing on the tactical games.
Yeah, he just
Is he
did that. He
enjoying that?
had his first event this past weekend.
How do you do?
I want to say we finished 11th. I don't know out of how
Okay,
many, but he was
okay.
updating. He's trying to get me to come in and do one this off season.
Are you going to?
I don't know. Last time I went shooting, I caught a ricochet. We were at a shooting range, and I caught a ricochet, and it went in the side of my cheek. And I like looked down at my hand, and it was just covered in blood. I thought I blew my eardrum out or something. And I looked back, and like his face was just like jaw dropped. I'm like, what happened?
So you caught some fragmentation from a steel target that was probably pitted and probably overshot. What I mean by that is there's steel targets at these ranges, and sometimes they shoot them with high caliber bullets and they
Yeah,
deform them. And so when you shoot a regular bullet at it, it breaks apart and flies in awkward directions.
yeah. You got to
It
show
was,
you have to show me how
yeah,
to
it was
shoot.
fragmentation.
I went to a shooting range with one of my buddies, and they're like, "Which gun you want?" I said, "Give me the biggest one you got." And
That's awesome. What is someone like you who you've been to the game six, 7 times now? This will be seventh, you said, right?
six.
Six. This will be six. Okay. You must be like nothing must worry you. You must be totally good, or do you still get nervous, or what are your thoughts?
I think nerves are always there, but I think that comes from pressure through like your training and preparation of like, all right, did I do everything? I think this is the first year that I feel probably the most confident in my training and well, like feeling well rounded. I mean, unless you're to throw us on a marathon row, like I just then it's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna row.
Did you ever do the marathon row?
Yeah, I did that. That was my first year. I
Okay,
remember
so
I was
you did it at the games.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, I get to sit here and just soak it in, and it was cool for an hour, and then like the other two were just like, all right, I'm good.
What was your total time?
I want to say it was like 3 hours and 5 minutes. It wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible.
Yeah, I think some of the fast guys were like in the high 240s or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
I was good. I remember I went out there with one bottle of water, a Gatorade, and a thing of pickle juice, and that was it. And I got to like the last 10K, and like I went from pulling like a 202, 203 like the whole time to like a 230. And I was just like, that's it. Like this is where it ends for me.
so some of the females might have, did they any of the females beat you?
Uh, maybe one,
I think who
maybe
won it
two.
that
I
year?
don't know. I just remember
Okay.
being like, all right, I can't let any girls beat me.
Do you drink Gatorade a lot? I know you said you
No.
had it for that event.
I
Okay.
had it for that event just for like the sugar and the carbs, but like that was like I mean I just turned 21. 21. Yeah, just turned 21. So I was just like, man, I was pumped to be there. And obviously like over those years the expectation starts to get more and more and more. I begin to get more comfortable. I mean, I remember that was the year there was like that was my first year like truly like competing with like games athletes across all the regions that like because I started CrossFit back in 2008 and I remember in 2012 I met Rich for the first time when he was competing with Scott and I was like, oh my gosh, it's Rich Froning, and he came over and talked to me. um, but I always remember that, and it's like, okay, now the sport's evolved so much that it's like I just turned 28. So like, I mean, you think Rich retired at 26, 27? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm older than Rich was whenever he was in his prime.
Yeah, I mean everyone's getting much younger, and like the best are starting young, and then by the time they're at the guys that are in their 30s now are not the norm. That's becoming like the
Yeah.
extreme. And like
Well,
I think
that's what tells me. I
Fikowski,
mean,
Vellner.
they're more, Will Moore, because Will Moore had wanted to do both. He's 35. He just turned 35. I'm like, bro, man, you're telling me I got another 7, 8 years of this? All right.
Do you think we should do a 30 to 34-year-old division?
Nah, nah,
Yeah,
nah. Do you?
that's good. No, but I've thought about it. I've thought like, because there's that gap. So like, let's say you stop at 30, 31. There's a competitive gap of 3 to 4 years before you can come back and do the 35. I guess taking the time off might be nice, and or switching and doing team or something like that. I guess there's
Okay.
some options.
All right. I got a question for you. Did you ever consider doing team? Would you ever consider doing team in the off season and letting individuals make their own teams and do both?
Yes, yes, yes. I guess I've never really talked about it, but I thought, I guess this will be the first time I talked about seriously separating the teams completely from the games.
Yeah.
And like just the games are just the individual athletes. And that is definitely things I'm thinking about and we're thinking about as a team, and doing the teams at another phase. And so then guys like you could do both if you wanted to.
Yeah. I think that would be so cool. I don't know if everyone
Yeah.
else would agree with it, but I think individuals would really get behind that.
I think people get worried that not having the teams at the games might hurt attendance or might hurt the vibe or might the atmosphere. I think it would be totally fine. I think the
No,
same
because
amount of people would
then
still
you get
come.
two events. It's a double
Yeah,
party.
yeah, exactly. That's a good question. I'm glad you asked
Yeah.
that. How do you eat?
I just eat, like I followed stuff strict before to like put on a little bit of weight. I think this is probably the lightest I've ever been going into the games. My body just feels better. I'm at like 180, 184 to 186. I want to be like 187, 189 by the games.
Yep.
So like now I'm kind of going through a more, I guess we can call it a bulk, just to put on a little more size to have a little more fluff because you tend to lose some weight over the games. But it's nothing strict. I mean, I eat healthy, like chicken, rice,
Yep.
pretty boring.
Yeah. Do you what's the highest placing you've ever had at the games?
Fifth.
Okay. Okay. Damn. What's your strength? What do you view as your strength?
Ooh.
Strength?
I like jumping, but until you guys took those rebounds away, I get why you did it, but I love
Yeah.
anytime we get to jump high.
Oh
Honestly,
wow.
no, I feel this is the most well-rounded that I've been. That like I would say weaknesses were always machines, and I feel like these last 2 years I've put a lot of emphasis on, especially looking at semifinals. I'd say we had a lot of machines in that, but I think that's a big gap that I closed on. So I'd say like more of my strengths I pulled back on to put more into things that I needed to improve on, just to minimize those gaps and build consistency across the board.
Makes sense. Work on your weaknesses. One of our core charters. What do you think of? What did you think of Luke's answer to Cindy? He didn't know
Oh
Cindy
my
was. Tell
gosh.
me you know.
Okay. I was like, that's what I was going to ask you. I was going to say, all right, Dave, give me a benchmark. What do we need to know?
Tommy V.
Tommy V, 21:15.9 thrusters and rope climbs. Not, but
Damn that.
it's not. It's what is it? 12:97 rope climbs or 9:75. That was my first regional workout. So we did Randy into Tommy V,
Yep.
and
Yep.
I was in the last heat. And so Randy was like a super fast one, first one, adrenaline gets you. And then I remember going into Tommy V, and I could barely climb that rope.
I don't think. I think it's 21:59 on the rope climbs too.
No, I think it's
Yes. Yes.
975 or two. It equals 27 rope climbs.
Okay. Okay. You're right. Oh, yeah. Right. It's 12.96.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
21 thrusters, 12 rope climbs, 15 thrusters, 9.6. 15 thrusters, 9 rope climbs, 9 thrusters, 6 rope
Are we
climbs
bringing
with
that back?
115 times. No, I was just looking at the site. I was just wondering that that's a good one though. We should bring it back.
Whenever it's
Good.
funny
So
because
you're a benchmark guy. You know your benchmarks.
yeah, so I had an affiliate for 3 years. I mean, I grew up in an affiliate. I mean, since 2008. But like, whenever I programmed for myself, I'd always base a lot of things off of benchmarks, and then like, because I've done most benchmarks multiple times, but I always based a lot of my programming around benchmarks, even whether it's for me or whether it's for the affiliate. You see what the intended stimulus is. Like, you talk about JT, like the push in every direction, and be able to replicate that with some other movements. I just think it's a really cool way to get unique with programming, but you have that foundation.
Yeah, for sure. Do you still, are you current on your level 1?
Yeah, I'm actually due for renewal here. I want to say in the next like month or two. So
You
I
should
want
go
to
to
go
level
get my
2.
L2. Yeah.
Yeah. Hit me up. I know a guy.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
I got a
thank you
question
for
for you,
this.
Dave. Okay.
Okay, last quick question, and then I
All
got to
right.
get bored.
Last quick question. What is one thing that you would like to see from more games athletes?
Oh, I would like to see more games athletes that are involved in the community in terms of like coaching, in terms of like being training with affiliates, like giving back in that kind of aspect. I feel like a lot of you guys, especially your brother and Rich and that era, were really involved in the community and the affiliates and something bigger than just themselves. I feel like that's kind of lost with a lot of athletes now. Like I think it feels like they're so focused on competing, like that they're not involved with their local affiliate or their gym culture, and just getting some of that back and supporting their
Yeah.
local community and the broader community. That'd be awesome. And
Yeah.
some do, but I'm just saying, on a large scale, seeing more of you guys do that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This will be it. Do you
Okay.
how?
Okay.
All right. All right. All right. What
I'm
would your
listening.
thoughts be on you couldn't get paid from the CrossFit Games unless you had your L1?
I love it. I think then Valmer wouldn't get any money. Bukowski might not either. I know Valmer refuses. One of them has not gone to the level 1. I think Bukowski has. I don't think Valmer has. It would be a tough pill to swallow though to actually put that in play and
Do you remember you
enforce
sent me to
that.
my first L1? I think I was like 17.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I
Was
failed the
that
test.
after?
I failed it twice.
Good on you for like owning that and talking about it here.
Yeah, well,
That's
I mean, dude,
yeah,
it's a hard test.
yeah. Well,
I mean, I didn't
good
really
job.
study
Bye.
because I thought,
Good job. Staying with it and finishing it.
oh yeah, I mean, it took me a year.
Well, hey, thank you for this, Saxon. I appreciate you hopping on with 1 minute's notice and knocking this out before I board my flight.
I
But
appreciate it, Dave.
pleasure chatting. That was
I'll
fun.
see ya. Bye.